you're the floor guy. Come explain the deal.
Okay. The normal procedure is at noon we're going to be sworn in. That's the first thing. Okay, thank you. At noon, the ceremony begins and the members will take the oath of office. All right? After that, generally the first order of business is the election of the speaker. So we'll have to debate about how we're going to conduct that vote, and that's normally done. But the election of the speaker will be fairly quickly after we get underway at noon. Normally the floor is open for nominations and then for seconds, and then the vote takes place. And again, as Ken mentioned, Representative Warren Chisholm, conservative Republican who had been running, has thrown his support to Ken Paxton. He'll be supporting Ken Paxton. So as far as we know, the candidates tomorrow will be Joe Strauss and Ken Paxton. That's what we're anticipating. Right. And that's the procedure. So it's happening tomorrow starting at noon. So keep praying. The question is, can you be in the gallery? Yes. Now I want to let you know, those seats in the gallery fill up very quickly. So be there as early as you can if you want a seat in the gallery. But yes.
Like really early.
Like
really early.
Like 8 o'clock?
8, 9 o'clock. What?
4?
Like 5 or 6 in the morning.
Honestly. I mean, really, you know what? By 8 or 9, they're all going to be full. I mean, really, it's early. It's early. It really is. That's what we anticipate. Will the Capitol Extension Auditorium be open with a live feed? We know that.
What time does the Capitol open?
Okay. The floor of the House. The floor of the House is on the west wing of the Capitol. Obviously, that beautiful building. It's bigger than the one in D.C. Much prettier too, don't you think? Yeah. So, the Capitol's the House chambers in the west wing of the Capitol. You can make your way to the gallery. It's easy to find. There's folks that can point you there, and that's where it's taking place. If those seats are full, you can also go to members' offices where it'll be on closed-circuit television. So any member's office you can go to if those are full. There's obviously plenty of room around. And so I don't know where the staging area is going to be tomorrow. You guys, that's what you're doing. The question is, will it be a recorded vote? Okay. Yes. Will it be a record vote? It's up to the members of the House to determine how the vote's going to be conducted. We will be asking for a record vote. Is that okay with you guys? We'll be asking for a record vote, really, because as members, we're casting our first vote on your behalf for our constituents. And so it's only fair that the vote be a record vote. Now, there may be a debate, there may be a vote about whether it's a record vote, but we're going to be pushing for a record vote.
And anybody who doesn't vote for a record vote will be voted out. They get an F.
We'll have a good debate about the record vote, and my hope is that transparency and open government and sunshine wins, and it's a record vote.
Explain the vote in the caucus today was not a public vote.
Okay.
What happened today?
Well, it was open.
That's right.
Thanks for asking how we felt about it.
Oh, thank you. Yes, sir. We do work for you.
Has that been explained to the rest of the Republicans? Do they really understand what they're voting?
Okay. A question was asked about
November.
a question was asked about the vote in the caucus today. So you know what happened in the Republican caucus? A quorum was present and the vote was taken. But as you may know, that meeting was closed to the public. Some folks had questions about that. Some folks wanted to get in. The meeting was closed to the public. And so folks all along have been asking for transparency and that sort of thing. And so we feel like a record vote on the floor of the House is the least we can do, right? A record vote on the floor of the House. Absolutely. So that's our intent. Yes, ma'am.
If one has a newly elected Republican representative who's turned out to be a rhino, do you think there is any chance that we can do anything overnight with those people?
Well, the question is about, members making a decision overnight. Honestly, I'm going to tell you this. These folks that run for the legislature, they obviously worked hard to get elected. A lot of you folks helped them do that.
We worked hard to get
I understand. Yeah. I'm with you. I'm getting to that. And so they're listening to you, all right? We all need to hear from the folks who elected us. So they need to hear from us. And yes, it's going to be a record vote on the floor tomorrow. And I think until that time, I don't think people have made their mind up until they cast that record vote on the floor tomorrow. That's my position anyway.
Question, sir.
Yes, sir.
Are y'all going to press for conservative committee chairman for the Ways and Means and the calendar?
The questions about the conservative committee chairman for the Ways and Means and the calendar. State Affairs, of course, handles the right to life issues historically. Of course.
Redistricting.
Of course. Redistricting is a big deal. That's part of why we're here. It's a big deal. We talked about calendars. That's right. We're optimistic that with a conservative House of Representatives, we'll have conservative committee chairs, and we'll do our best. We'll do everything we can do to push for that. Yes, sir.
One question. They told us today the split in the caucus was 70 30, is that correct? I expected it to be closer. Why,
Yes.
why not?
Yeah, we were, didn't know what to expect. The question was about the vote in the caucus, The question was about the vote in the caucus.
Representative Simpson's here.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, Representative David Simpson from Longview. Let me say this. One thing that was made very clear by a number of folks in the caucus was that this is a non-binding vote. Everyone, all the folks said that on the other side going in. And so we're going to take them at their word. Again, that vote was taken in a closed meeting. The public wasn't allowed to view that. And so do y'all think we should take this to the House floor and get
To the floor.
To the floor. To the floor.
To the floor. To the floor. To the floor.
To the floor. To the floor. To the floor. To the floor.
Do you think that today's vote was a vote to bluff us so they could see how we react?
Oh, that's interesting. I wondered. The question was today's vote a bluff to see how we react, to see if we fold our tent? That's a very good question. That's a very good point. We understand that members are realizing, we're all realizing, and I'm a member of the House, I've got to run for re-election. And I'm hearing from my constituents overwhelmingly. I think other members are too. And so tomorrow when I cast my first vote as a member of the House, I have a chance to implement the will of my constituents. So we believe, given the chance, given the opportunity, that's going to happen tomorrow. We're optimistic about that.
On the basis of that it may be a bluff, now tell us how to act about it so we can convince them to vote the right way tomorrow.
Well, again, I think the message has to be to stay strong, stay on the message we've been on. The people of Texas gave a great conservative mandate, and the members of the legislature should follow through with that. I think that's what people have been hearing. Yes, sir.
You said 70-30. Is that 70 for Paxton?
No.
No, it wasn't. It was not.
Can I say something?
Sure.
Okay. There's a lot of intimidation when the doors are closed, as it was today.
Right.
And you saw members who were trying to stay seated, wanting to vote for Ken, but as I saw other, members who are on the, leadership team now stand up, just a lot of things went on, and I think there was a lot of intimidation. But we don't know how it's going to turn out tomorrow. But I want to tell you that you have got a true hero in Ken Paxton. To take it. He said from the very beginning, regardless of what would happen, he would take this to the floor to give the people their public vote. It was not public today, but tomorrow. And there's a lot of pressure. Pray for him. There is a lot of pressure to get him out. It will go on until tomorrow at noon. Do not think it stopped when the caucus ended.
We heard it was supposed to be a secret vote today, but it got changed at the last moment.
That is correct. That is correct. But let me just tell you.
And who changed it?
Why?
Larry Taylor?
No, it was not Larry Taylor.
16 consultants changed.
Yeah.
It was a vote of the members.
A member proposed to take away the secret ballot in the caucus, and it just anyway. I'll let others discuss that. Let me just say, tomorrow we're going to have transparency.
Amen.
Transparency. So someone said the rallying cry was take it to the floor. That's what we're going to do, and thank you, Ken, for doing that. Thank you.